Please remember that all the opinions in the show are those of the host and should only be taken as food for thought. We're in no way telling you to do anything. Everything is kept anonymous for the safety of the listeners and no information is shared to anyone else. If you are easily offended by people's opinions or views, then thank you for making it this far, but this is not the podcast for you, so see you later. And please enjoy the rest of the show. Thanks for great advice on the last one, gentlemen. I've decided on to temporarily set up a storage unit while I thin out the collection I'm going through. Oh, okay, we know who that is then.
The guy that with the toys.
What, he was selling old consoles and things.
Oh, consoles, yeah, that was it.
Yeah. But on another note, moving forward with someone after they cheated is tough, and I'm not coping with it well. She is being very attentive and seems sorry for what she did, but I still can't help but think she is fucking someone else every time I'm out of the house. I know you guys have touched on this in the past. What do you do in this position? At this point, the paranoia is taking hold. This is the woman that said to him about cleaning up his fucking place. And when he's gone and got a storage unit to try and sort it out, she's going to fucking cheat on him. Is this the same woman?
Yeah, it must be the same woman.
Well done for getting the storage unit. I mean, even if you're not like with someone, it's nice to keep, your place tidy. It's good for your mental health, yeah. And at least you've got a separate from, you know what I mean? It's not all, you don't go home and you got all that there. It takes a long fucking time. I tell you that fucking much. It takes a long fucking time to.
If you're a forgiving person, anyway, I think you have to be a very forgiving person to be able to pull it off,
or have very low self-esteem, as in Dan's case, to put up with it. The paranoia is real. Even when I broke up with my ex, we had to live together for like a couple months because I couldn't afford to move out. And every time I went to work,
painful,
every time I cancelled holidays, like I booked a week off to go somewhere with her, and I was like, I'm going to go on my own. And the paranoia was so bad, I just sat in the flat for a full week, not leaving because I was like, I don't know what she's going to do when I'm not here.
Yeah.
Like in the end, I had to borrow money from my brother and my granddad just to get out because I was like, I can't handle it anymore.
Yeah, it was fucking you up. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like it's a hard one for me because the person might be genuinely sorry and it was a genuine mistake. But yeah, it's tough. It's for me, I'm not a very forgiving person. I can understand. Yes, people can make mistakes, and yes, she might have. That would be like a one-off thing that happened. Maybe it was on a drunken night out and things got carried away. But if there's been an ongoing thing with someone, basically conducting the second relationship, I couldn't forgive that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think you'd be a stronger man than me if you are. Like, good on you for trying. There's nothing wrong with you trying to forgive it. But I would be such a paranoid mess. I don't think I would, as Dan was doing, like he wasn't, he was taking time off and staying at home and stuff. I'd end up doing that through paranoia.
Oh, it's awful. I tell you right now, like being in a relationship where I trust her 100%. Like there's no, like when she goes on her phone, when she like goes to the gym or anything like that, like there's not a piece of me that thinks any different. Like when she speaks about someone else or like talks about, like mentions a guy's name, like nothing. I don't feel anything except obviously I'm listening. I'm not saying I'm not fucking, but then the contrast, because I can still feel the way I did.
Yeah, I still go back, or retract back into what, like the way I used, the crazy shit I used to pull out.
Yeah.
Occasionally we would rear its head and then Charlotte needs to tell me to shut the fuck up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a tough one.
I remember when we broke up, we were like living together and she was like, oh, I've got a second job to like make the money so I can like move out and stuff like this. And I'm like, oh yeah. And then someone she worked with lived like a couple doors down. And I went to the shop like a week later and I saw her and I was like, oh, and she was like, oh, she was on a date the other day. And I was like, oh, funny. She told me she was doing a second job and she was already fucking dating like a week or two after we fucking broken up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I mean?
And you're still in the situation you were in.
mate. I like Jamie says, like, it's good for trying, and there are certain circumstances where mistakes happen,
Mm.
and we've said before, like, if it happens and they own up straight away, they want to work on it. You're like, yeah, okay, it happened. Thank you for being honest.
Mm.
We'll work through it. But there's so many different circumstances, right? It's like, how long was it going on for? Like, were they texting each other? Did they meet up randomly? Were they planning to meet up? Do they work together? It's just like, there's a fucking 1,000 different situations that it could be, and it's just not worth it.
And a
Think for
lot of
either
the
of you.
paranoia is probably worse than the reality as well. So,
Yeah.
and I don't think you personally are going to be able to resolve that.
I just think it's such a wasted effort, though, because, like, neither of you are now being who you are, right? Like,
No.
she's probably walking on eggshells, probably being, like, really nice or whatever, trying to apologize, and you're accepting the thing she's doing, but, like, secretly paranoid and putting and how long is this going to go on for, right? Like, a year of you two not being comfortable with each other is like, is it worth it?
And then, like, every time there's a disagreement, it will get brought back into things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you have to be very strong in your relationship to be able to do that and both put a lot of effort in.
Mm.
And I don't know whether I'd personally be able to get over it. So
I tell you, I don't. I think I did at one point, and then when I had got over it, I realized that at this point she's already done.
mm,
Because I can still remember it, like, when the things happened between us, and then afterwards, I was like, I know full well that. Well, I felt that, like, she loved me.
mm.
So I was starting to get back into that. Like, I know, like, she's trying. Things are different now,
Yeah, you're
and
trying
then
to take your walls back down.
yeah, and then after I let him down, and we moved, and all these situations happened, I could pinpoint the exact point where it was like, I don't trust her again anymore.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, things started going missing. I'd ask her where they were, fucking money going missing, taking my bank card. Yeah, I mean, like, I could pinpoint the exact point where I was like, I should not have trusted again.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I said before, like I said earlier in the episode, like, 3 years extra on a relationship that the years I won't get back, money I spent trying to survive, living like a crackhead,
Mm.
when I could have just fucking be strong and been like, I'm deserve better than this. I'm not having it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a scary thing, right? Because, like, you were in love or whatever. I don't know how long you were together. She cheats, and you're suddenly like, what am I going to do on my own? Like, I didn't expect to be single. I didn't like.
Yeah, that's
And
what the
then
horrible thing about cheating, because it's rejection and at the same time it's also panic because you're like, what's going to happen now? Am I going to be fending for myself essentially?
yeah.
And if you're in a long-term relationship, it's scary coming out of that, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Especially, like, when you're older, because
Mm.
obviously if she's living with you, or you have pets, or you have, you don't know how long they've been together.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the whole thing, and you're like, I don't want to go through the stress of doing all of this and that, and you try and forgive and forget. But I tell you right now, be strong, man, and think more of yourself, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it at all.
No. No.
It took a long time for me to trust. Like, that's another thing as well. Like, after it
It
took me
affects your
so
ability
long
to trust other
yeah,
people.
to trust someone, and I just constantly looked for things that they were doing that could be cheating,
Yeah.
and it played for years, and it took so long to get over it. So it's best just to not go. We don't like saying that to people. Obviously, we try and find the best outlook, but sometimes it's best just for both of you just to leave it.
Yeah, definitely.
So hopefully that helped. Hopefully we said a lot of things that you're thinking, and that's helped you decide your decision. But ultimately, it's up to you, man. And if you think you're strong enough, and it's going to work, and it's going to last a long time, if you do get through it, then by all means, fight that fight.